Before directly jumping into the video, let's have a quick sneak peek to see what actually we are going to build in today's automation. So I have got an input file. In that input file, I have got 5 invoices. This is how the invoices look like, and the idea here is we want to extract some of the data. I have an output folder here which is completely blank, and the expectation is that once I run the automation, the file should be available in this folder. I'll go to the automation and I'll say run. The automation has started, and you could see that all the files getting available in the output folder by converting into the Excel. If I just open any one of them, you would see that the relevant data is extracted and is available in the files. The automation is completed, and we can see that we have 5 Excel file with all the data extracted, and this is the use case which we are going to build today, but with the help of form extractors. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mukeshkala, 4 times UiPath most valuable professional, certified UiPath trainer and an certified solution architect. Welcome to my YouTube channel where we are exploring the document understanding in a step-by-step manner. Feel free to join the WhatsApp group where you can get more updates from the YouTube channel directly in your WhatsApp. To join the WhatsApp group, just scan the QR which is available on the screen. So in the document understanding series, we have already covered this complete roadmap, that how does the document understanding roadmap look like. In case you are an absolute beginner and have no idea on document understanding, I would request you to watch this step-by-step tutorial. You can download the files and you can practice this complete video roadmap with me, and I promise that you would have a document understanding use case, right? You would find this playlist link in the description. Having said that, let's jump to this video now. So today we are going to cover something which is called the form extractors. So in the complete roadmap of the document understanding, we have seen that to extract the data, there are various extractors which are available in UiPath. And in the complete roadmap, I have used something which was called a regular expression based extractor, which was having a lot of difficulty and which has a lot of restrictions. So today I am going to introduce you to something which is called the form extractor, where we would be developing the use case which you just saw in the sneak peek in a step-by-step manner. And same like the other tutorials, you guys can download the files and practice along with me. So today the agenda would be we are going to extract and export the data with the help of form extractors. So this would be our agenda. We are going to start with by downloading the sample files. We are going to create a new project. I am going to introduce you to what exactly is a form extractor. We are going to build a step-by-step demo, and at the last we are going to see what are the different properties for a form extractors, right? In case you are coming to the channel for the first time and you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel to get the next videos in the series. Subscribing to the channel is free for you, but it helps me to grow my YouTube channel. Having said that, let's get down to the video now. Okay, so I am back into my UiPath Studio, and I will go here and I'll click on this button, which is the new process. And today we are going to see the form extractor. So I will name the project as form_extractor. Right? You guys can practice along with me so that you also have the same use case. Okay. Form_extractor, and I'll just put my channel name so that later it's easy for me to find out which project it is, right? So I'll just say that this is the form extractor project. Okay, we'll leave everything to the default settings and we'll just hit create. Okay, once the project is ready, I'll go to the project, and the first thing first, we need to add the dependencies because I do not have the taxonomy manager. So I hope you guys now are aware of that which dependency we need. So I'll go to the dependencies, right click, and I'll click on manage, right? I'll go to the all packages and I'll just add the dependency which is UiPath.intelligent OCR, right? This we have already seen in the previous video, so not spending much time here. So I'm going to install the UiPath Intelligent OCR activities and I'll say save. Once this dependency is installed, we should have the taxonomy manager at the top, which you can see here, right? So I'll just go here and I click on this button, which is the taxonomy manager. And unfortunately I am getting an error, right? So you say, would you like to download it now? I'll say no, right? So this is an error with the version of the document understanding package, right? So I have created a dedicated video providing you the solution for this, right? So what you can immediately do is you can just downgrade this dependency version. If this error is not coming, no need to follow these steps, but in case this error is coming, please do watch the previous videos where I have shown how do you get rid of this error, right? An easy fix is just go to the project, and in the intelligent OCR package I'll go and I'll just downgrade to something like 6.5.0 and I'll say update and I'll say save. Okay, so now what we have done is we have downgraded the version of the UiPath Intelligent OCR package. In case you were successfully able to open it, you do not need to downgrade the dependencies. Okay, so with the dependency downgraded, let me try to open the taxonomy manager. And yes, we are able to open it. Okay, so step 1 is done. Okay, now we have to get the input file. So I'll go here and I'll close this. Now to get the input files, you have to go to the same website. I'll open my Google Chrome. The website which you have to navigate is mukeshkala.com. I have provided the link in the description. Once you are in the website, you just have to go to this one, which is the downloads. Okay, scroll down the download page. And at the bottom you would see that I have shared all the files for all the previous use cases as well, right? So today we are doing this Form Extractor practice file. So you just go here and click on this button which says the Form Extractor practice file. Click on this button and that should download the Form Extractor files for you. And as you can see here, I have got a zip file which is form extractor files.zip. Okay, so you should have these same files with you, 1 2 3 4 5 sample files. So what I'm going to do is I'll just copy them, and in the project folder, right, so it is easy for us to navigate, I'll go to the project, right click on it, say open the project folder, or you can add a folder here, right? Anyways, so this is the project folder, Form Extractor tutorials by Mukesh Kala. I'll go here and I'll create a new folder. I'll call this folder as input, right? So the idea is simple, right? So whatever you have downloaded from the website, just extract it and keep the PDF files here like this. Okay, so I'll just go here and I'll say open, and we should be able to see all the files. Let's try to see that. Okay, I'll minimize this. Okay, so these are the 5 invoices, guys, which we have. Each of the invoices has a name and a invoice number, I guess, right? So now let's decide what data we want to extract. So I'll open a notepad file and I'll put this thing in the description for you so that you can just directly copy paste. Okay, so let's say we want to extract the invoice number from all these PDF files, right? So because we need to define the taxonomy, so I am interested in, let's say, the invoice number. I am interested in, let's say, who the file is billed to, right? What else? Maybe the date. Okay, and maybe this address, right? So I'm just defining 4 fields, right? Because the agenda here today is to show you how does the form extractor look like. Okay, so these are the 4 details, guys, which we will work today. Depending on your requirement, you can just go ahead and add more details, right? So as of now, I'm just sticking to these 4 details. Okay, so I have got the input files and these are the things which we need to define. Okay, I'll take a pause for you guys to download it and keep the files in this one, right? Meanwhile, if you have already done this, just comment down files downloaded so that I understand that yes, people are able to navigate along with me in this video. Okay, I'll wait for your comment, and now let's move forward. Okay, so now we'll go here and we will just go to the taxonomy manager. right? And let's try to define the taxonomy as per the detail which we have decided, right? So all of this we have already discussed, guys, so I am not going to spend much time here, right, because we have already discussed. So quickly I am going to create a taxonomy for this. So I'll go to the taxonomy, create on this one, which is the new group, right? I will create a group for tutorials by Mukesh Kala. You can create it by your own name. This should also work. I'll click on save. Then inside the tutorials by Mukesh Kala, I need to have a category which is called incoming, right? I hope now you guys remember what is the difference between category and groups, right? And then inside the categories, I am telling UiPath that, hey, I am expecting a document type of invoices, right? Nothing fancy here. We have done all of this previously also, right? So now in the invoices, we just mention the fields. So the first field is invoice number, copy it, paste it, right? And I'll make it to text, because I think some of the invoice number has digits in it, right? Sorry, alphabets in it. The second field is the bill to, that whom the invoice is billed to, that would be text, save. Then next is the date. I'll go here, add the field, call it as date. The field type would be date, save. And then I would say the address, and the field type here would be address, right? And we'll save this, right? So this I have only created for 4 fields. Depending on your use case, you can have more than more than 4 fields and more than 1 groups, invoices, receipts, passport, right? All of that you can create it, right? So this is done. Once you have specified, you just go here and you close this. Okay. So now to get started with, I'll go here and I'll open the main workflow. The agenda today is the form extractors, but to reach the extractor, we need to do all the steps one by one, right? So the first step here is load the taxonomy, right? So we just created the taxonomy. So I'll drag and drop the load taxonomy here, right? And the output of the load taxonomy is a variable called taxonomy. I'll hit Ctrl+K and I'll create a variable called taxonomy, right? Then after the taxonomy is done, the next step for us is the digitization. So I'll go here and I'll take an activity called digitize document, right? Okay, now the digitized document is going to ask me some of the details, the document path and all, right? So let's go to assign, right? I want to take this document path. First, I want to do it for one file, same like we did in the complete use case, right? We'll do it for one file and then we'll significantly run everything in the loop, right? That's the whole plan. So what's the file called? I'll create a variable called str_document_path, right? And here we are going to pass the path of the file hard coded for the first time, right? So this is the files which we have created. I'll just copy as path and I'll pass it to here in this one. Okay, so that way I would have path for one of the document, right? Like this. Now what is the document path? I'll just go here and I'll say str document path. Then the output here would be the document text. So I'll hit Ctrl+K and create a new variable called str_document_text, right? And the second important thing is the document object model. So I'll hit Ctrl+K and I'll create a variable called document object model, right? So far so good. I hope you guys are already comfortable with all of this, because we have done this at least twice in this series, right? So the taxonomy is done, the digitization is done. The next thing is the classification, and the classification we use is the classify document scope. So I'll drag and drop it here. It's asking me the same details again, document path, taxonomy, which is in the variable of taxonomy, document text. So I'll go here and pass str document text, document object model, right? And then the output here is the classification result. Hit Ctrl+K and create a variable called classification results, right? Now here it is asking us drop the classifiers, right? So In the series, I have taught you two classifier. One is the keyword based classifier and the other is the intelligent keyword based classifier. So today in this video, I think I will go with the intelligent keyword classifier, right? In case you are new to the intelligent keyword classifier, please watch the previous two videos where we have taught this thing in detail, right? So this guy is going to ask me where is the learning path, right? So what we have to do, we go to the project, hit a quick refresh. In the document understanding processing folder, you would have taxonomy.json. Open this like this, create a copy of this, right? Easiest way to create the classification file, rename this to classification, right? I hope you guys are now comfortable doing all of this, right? We have been doing this for a long now, right? And now all you have to do is just open this classification file in a notepad maybe and empty this. The whole idea here is you should have a empty JSON file whose name can be anything, but it's better to name it as classification. Okay, now it's asking me, Mukesh, where is the learning file path? So now I'll point it to the same folder, which is the document processing, and this is the file we just created. Open this, right? And then we click on this button, which is the manage learning, right? And we have to import documents, right? All of these guys we have already explained. So files with the set of training, I'll click on this folder button and go one step back. All the files are available in this input folder. Do a Ctrl+A. You can select all the file at once, hit open and just say start the training, right? And now I do not have to explicitly write all the keywords, right? That's the power of intelligent keyword classifier, already explained in the previous videos, right? So we will just wait for this training to happen. Okay, so training completed, trained on five files, and I just save this. Cool. And this is done. API key is missing, right? How do you get it? Again, click on manage learning. Click on this small edit button and you would have this API key here. Copy this, Ctrl+A, Ctrl+C, right? Guys, I have already shown you how do you get this API keys and all, right? So please do watch the previous videos, right? So yes, intelligent keyword classifier is done and that will do the classification and it will classify all of this as the invoices which we have already seen. And classification is also done. Now comes the important one. We now have to do the extraction, right? So to do the extraction, I am going to use something which is called the data extraction scope, and this is where we are going to use the form extractors, right? Now this guy is asking me, Mukesh, where is the document path? So the document path is str document path. Where is the taxonomy? So we have this variable which is called taxonomy, right? Then it is asking me, where is the document text? This is the document text. Where is the document object model? I have created a variable called document object model, right? Classification results, we have seen that these two guys are exclusive, mutual exclusive. You can either provide this or this, right? So I have the classification results in this variable. I'll say it to 0 because I only have one set of documents, right? And that should get rid of these errors, right? Now drop the extractor here. So in the last video we have seen that how you can use the regex based extractor. Today we are going to use the new one which is the form based extractors. So I'll go here and I'll drag something which is called form extractors, and this is the place where you are going to use the form extractors. One thing which you would notice a difference here is from the regex based extractor. When you use the regex based extractor, it was not having any endpoint, it was not having any API key. Regex based extractor is purely working on regex. It does not require any connectivity to the UiPath server or anything, right? As soon as you use the form based extractor, you would see that it is using the UiPath endpoint to connect, and it is also asking for the API key, right? So that is the first difference which you should notice here in the form extractor, right? Now a question you might have all in the brain, that how as a developer I would decide when should I use the form extractor and when should I use the regex based extractor, right? If that is yes, let me answer that. What exactly is this form extractor and when it is best suited? So Form Extractor is best suited for the use case where the documents have little or no variations. It simply means that if all the documents have almost same kind of layout and a little bit variance, then you can always go and use the form extractors. The form extractor relies on the template defined upfront. So whenever you use form extractor, UiPath document understanding is going to ask you, Mukesh, provide me the template. And if any document is not following that template, your extraction would fail. That's why it is recommended to use form extractor only when you have the documents with little or no variance, right? The same thing you would notice in all the invoices which you have kept, right? You would see that all the invoices have the data different. It can be scanned, it can be native. That is the different altogether whole story. But if you see the layout, this is more or less the same. And that is why the form extractor is a good choice here, right? So that was the point on little or no variation. The third thing is, you can use this activity for handwriting recognition. So in case you have some text which is handwritten text, handwritten data, or signature detection, then also form extractor can be used. Okay, maybe in the upcoming future videos we will try to see how does the signature works, but you need to remember that it can be worked with handwritten and the signature detection as well. Okay, this feature make form extractor good fit for processing form that are printed or handwritten, right? And in case you need to check whether the form is signed or not. So let's say you are having a use case where you want to check whether the form has been signed or not. Take an example of a bank. The bank has released a lot of credit card forms and all the customer has scanned the forms and send it back to the bank. Now somebody is manually checking whether I have signed the form or not. I can always go and use something which is called form extractor and check whether the form is actually signed or not. Okay. This activity comes with a configuration wizard where you have to first configure the template. Please remember, form extractor work completely on the base of templates. And the thing which I have highlighted in dark yellow is we need to use the Automation Cloud Document Understanding API key. How do you get the API key? Please watch the video which I have already shared in the description, that how do you get the API key. In case you are not on the cloud and you are on on-prem, then you have to use the form extractor which is deployed on the AI Center on-prem, right? So AI Center on-prem is a service where you host the document understanding models, and this is strictly restricted to the on-premises. You have the AI Center in the cloud as well. So maybe in the future videos I will try to explain you what is AI Center. But the important thing is you need to remember is to work with form extractor, you need the API key which you can get from the automation cloud as we have been getting, or in case you are working for a client or a customer, you need to ask them, give me the API key from the AI Center. Right? So this was a little theory on form extractor. And now since you have seen all the files, now I hope you guys understand that why form extractor is a good choice in this use case. Okay. So back to my UiPath Studio. So we have drag and drop the form extractor and we need an endpoint. We are connected to automation cloud. So that's why this API key is coming from the automation cloud. Okay. Now, as we have seen, it completely works on the concept of the templates. So that's why form extractor is asking me, Mukesh, provide me the template. So I'll click on this button here, which is not a button, the hyperlink which says manage the templates, and that will open this thing for me. Now here you have two options. You can create a template by scratch, or in case you have created a template in another project, you can import that as well. But since I don't have it, I'll go here and I'll create on this guy, which is create the template, right? I created the template. You will get this wizard which says create a new template. Select the document type. I'll select here invoices because in the taxonomy, I only defined invoices. Now it is asking me what is the template name. So I say that this is my template for invoices underscore template. You can name it anything, right? So I'll name it, this is my invoices template. Now template document native PDF if possible. It is asking me provide me the PDF, any one PDF. If it is a native PDF, editable PDF, then it would be better, right? So I'll go here, click on this button, and I'll browse it to any one of the PDF to create the template. As soon as you provide this template, the file, this would be available here. This is the DUOCR endpoint. This is the API key. All you have to do is just click on this button, which is configure. And now the action will happen. You are using a form extractor, which is a template based extraction. You provided a document. That document would be treated as a template, right? And that will serve as the starting point for all the other documents, right? So form extractor is going to read the data from the document, and then it is going to show you an option that tell me which field is located where in this guy, which is called the template manager, right? This is the screen which will pop up, template manager. Here there are some very good instruction. In case you are looking this template manager for the first time, I would highly recommend you that please go through all these instructions. That is going to help you to work better with the template manager, right? In case you have already seen it, then you can just click OK, right? Since all of us are looking this for the first time, there are something which I want you guys to focus upon. The first instruction is select the minimum of 5 words in the first page, so that the form extractor can uniquely and confidently say that yes, this is the correct document. So we have to select 5 words. How do you do it? You use Control plus click. So this is the shortcut, Control plus click to select the words. Do the same for all the other pages. To configure a field, use the custom selection option. Okay, to configure the field, you can use the custom selection option. You can select more than one field where it is by using the selection, right? Same like tokens and all, exactly the same concepts are available here. Instruction for defining an anchor. You can also define an anchor. I hope you guys understand what is an anchor. Concept where the main value is not found, you can hook up as an anchor and then you can get it back, right? So two things which we have to understand, that we have to define a minimum 5 words, and we have to use Control plus click, and to extract the data we can use the custom selection. So far so good. I'll just go here and I'll hit OK. This is the invoice which we just uploaded, and it is asking me page 1 matching information. Page 1 matching info simply means that provide me the information which would be there in all the invoices. The simple idea here is, today we are having only invoices. Tomorrow, let's say some user provide any other document, a passport. Now the passport should strictly be rejected. The robot should not even attempt to extract the data. So it should know, right, whether the matching information was there or not. So that's what it is asking me, provide me the matching information, and we have seen that we have to provide 5 references. Let's go to the invoice. Now if you notice, for all these 5 invoices, the name of the store is there, invoice is there, see the name of the store, the invoice, first reference, second reference, the third reference could be this bill to, the fourth reference could be this notes if it is there, right, notes, right, see. So you have to just provide 5 references which is common across the documents, right? That's simple as that. So I have this, I'll hit Control and then I simply click. So I have pressed Control on my keyboard and I am just clicking on this 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 5. Once done, you'll just click on this plus button, and it will highlight all of those. Minimum 5 references we have to get. So page 1 matching information has got all these 5 information. Now the other things are exactly the same. Where is the invoice number? The invoice number is located here. So best way is to use this one, which is the custom area, and just select it like this. And then it's not showing. So you want to use it like the custom area and like this, and then I say extract the value. who is bill to. Here I'll again go and select it like this. Click on the extract value. Please note that I have used the custom area here, right? Don't get confused. In the date, I'll go here and select this date like this, and then date. Here it says custom selection. Finally, the address, I'll just make this in the address, and then I'll click on this button, which is extract value. All this data extracted, and all you have to do is just click on the submit button, right? So two things which you need to do here is, first thing, for the page information you need to provide the 5 references, and then for each and every field you have to provide where this value is located. Once that is done, just click on this button, which is submit, and here I'll just come and say close. Once you close that, you are back to this wizard, which is the data extraction wizard, and you would see something like this, and you have an error here. I hope you guys now understand why that is the error, because we have not configured the extractors. So I'll go here and I click on this button which says configure the extractors, and since I have only one invoice and I am telling UiPath that for this invoice I want to use the form extractor, tick on this button and just say save. Okay, so that error is gone. Now as you can see here, the API key is still not coming here. So this is the same API key. You can directly get it from the cloud orchestrator, or you can also get it from the previous activities as well. So I'll just do a Control A, Control C, right? And I'll just pass the API key here. This is the same API key which we are going to use everywhere. Okay. So now till this point what we have done, so I'll just collapse everything. I have load the taxonomy, digitize the document, classify the document, and we have done the data extraction, but this time we have used the form extractors. So once that is done, the next step is to simply export the data, right? So we are going to use the export. And please remember guys, I am not building the complete workflow. We are just exploring the data extraction scope, right? So I am not using the validation station and all, and I'm directly putting the export extraction results. Now this guy is asking me where is the export results. So if you go to the data extraction scope, here the output, the extraction result, I'll go here, hit Ctrl+K, and I'll create a variable which is called the extraction results, right? And that's it. The same extraction results now you have to pass in this one, and just type here extraction results. Okay, now as we have seen in the end-to-end document understanding videos that the output here is a data set. So I'll hit Ctrl+K and I'll create a data set called ds_output, and that should create a data set for me, right? So we are done till this point. Now simply we have to write this data back to an Excel. So I'll go here, and to write the data I will use an activity which is called write range, right? I hope now you guys understand what actually we are trying to do here. Okay, now write range is asking me where do you want to write the data, give me the workbook path, right? So in our project folder we have this input. So I'll go to the folder, or maybe you can just go here, right click and create a new folder like this. Add a new folder. I'll call this as output. Okay, so that should create a output folder for you, and the expectation is for all these input files we want the output Excel in this folder. Okay, so I'll go here in the workbook path. I'll open this in the advanced editor, and I'll say that inside the output folder which we just created like this, we want you to place the file. And if you guys remember, I'll just go at the top. You see the document path is available in this variable which is str document path, which is having the complete path of the PDF, right? But I'm interested only in this name. I do not want the .pdf, right? Remember we did this mistake in the last end-to-end demo. So this time I'm not going to make that mistake. So I'll go back to the write range, and here I'm going to write a small piece of code, and I hope you guys would understand it, right? So UiPath has a function which is called get file without extension, get the name of the file without extension, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'll hit a plus and I'll say that path, that from a path, hit a dot, and then I say that get the file name without extension. I do not want to have the extension. Now it is asking me where is the path. So the path is in this variable str document path. So what would be the output for this variable? It would be only the name of the file without .pdf. And since we want to create an Excel, I'll put a plus and then I'll say .xlsx. So what we are instructing UiPath that in the output folder, create a file with the same name, which is the PDF, and put a .xlsx. And please see, I have put a backslash here. Okay, and here I am just appending it with .xlsx, right? So I hope you guys understand. And then I'll just go here and I click on this button, which is the save. Okay, now it is asking me what is the sheet name, what sheet name you want. So I say that the sheet name should be data as of now, right? And then it is asking me where is the data table. So the data table is in the data set, right guys? Again, I'm not going into the details because we have already explained that, right? So I'll just go to the here, and the output is always available in this data set. So I'll go here and I'll say ds output dot tables, right? So we have seen that all the data was available in this variable of 0, right? Let's print the first table and I'll say save. And in the right range, one important thing, please make this add header tick. Okay, so this completes the automation for the one file. If everything works well, the expectation is in the output folder, I should have one file which has extracted the data from this PDF and put it into this with the help of form extractors, right? So we'll save this, go here and just say run the file. Okay, so this is the first time we are running for one file. If everything works well, we are going to repeat the process for the other files as well. Okay, so the automation completed in 25 seconds, right? Let's go to the project. I'll go to the output folder, right click, open it. And here we can see that I have got a file, which is an Excel file. I'll open it. And super, this is the data which I have to extract from the first PDF, right? Let's quickly validate. I'll go to the output folder. I think this was the input file, right? Yeah, that's why we created the Excel with the same name, right? So that it's easy for us to evaluate. Okay, maybe I'll keep it here like this. Okay, so the invoice number is 36258, that's correct. Bill to, this is Aaron, that's correct. The date is March 6 and the address is this one, right? Seattle, Washington and United States. How cool is that, right? So that means that we were successfully able to extract the data for the first invoice. If you were able to also extract the data for first PDF, just give me a thumbs up by liking this video. Okay, so now there are two things which are remaining. The first thing is we have to put the logs. The second thing is we have to run it for all the files. Okay, so let's do that immediately. I'll go here and I'll take an activity called log message, right? This time guys, I am not doing all the logging mechanism, right? Because it takes time, and the agenda here is to form extractor, right? I'll say info level log and I'll say taxonomy done. Okay, so this I am doing so that in the logs it is easy for us to see. The second step, I'll just say here digitization done. Yeah, after the classify, I would say classification done. Control C. I would say classification done. I think 2 done. Okay, that's fine. And then here I would just say extraction. right? I am going a little fast, guys, because we have already explored this, right? And after the extraction, we just say completed, right? And one thing is, I just want to print the file. So what I have done is I have just put the log messages, right? So what is the document? Before the load taxonomy, I'll just say that processing, and I'll just say which document I am processing, str document path. Okay, so till this part we are done. Now all we have to do is we have to just run this sequence complete for all the files, right? So we'll save this, collapse this. This complete main sequence has to now run for all the files one by one, right? So I'll go to the activities and I'll take an activity called for each. And from here I'm going to take this guy, which is for each file in the folder. For each file in the folder, I want to do something. What is that something? Whatever is in the main sequence, we just drag and drop it here like this, right? Now for each, where is the input folder, right? So the input folder is right away here, which is the name of the folder is input, right? So you can just mention here input, sorry, in double quotes, it's a string. In case your folder is at a different location, please specify the complete path. You can also click on this folder button and browse the folder, right? I do not want any of this, and the output of this thing is coming in this variable, which is the current file. So all we have to do is just pass this current file to each and every document path. And how do you get it? It's absolutely simple. Just pass this current file to this variable dot to string. And that's it, right? Let's try to quickly understand what I have just done, right? So I am instructing UiPath that go to this folder. The name of the folder is input. I am asking UiPath to take each and every file. UiPath will say, okay, I'll get you all the files in this variable, which is the current file. Then for each and every file, we are trying to repeat all these steps by providing the document path in this variable, and the other steps are exactly the same. The new thing which we have done is we have added logs so that we can see in the output what is happening, right? So now going back to the folder, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 input folders. I'll go to the output and let's try to have a clean run. So I'll delete this guy. Folder is empty, right? Save this, go here and say run the file. Okay, so if everything works well, we should be able to extract the data from all the 5 documents by using a limited efforts of the form extractors, right? And this time, guys, we have also put the logs. So let's see what happens. Okay, so the form extractor has started processing the file. This is the first invoice, taxonomy done. And since we are using the digitization, and I think we have set the OCR to auto, I guess, right? That's why it is taking some time. Anyways, so taxonomy done, digitization done, extraction done. Now it is processing for the second file, and this is the benefit of using logs, right? I have put very minimal logs, but I would recommend you guys to put logs properly in your automations. Okay, done for the second file. Now it is processing the third file, right? And this is how it is going to continue. Now what is missing in this automation is the present validation station, present classification station, right? That you can, I believe, always put it into the actual document understanding workflow, right? So we'll just wait for this, right? So in a real-time automation, after this extraction, based on the confidence, you can have the extraction validation. After that validation, you can also see that what data is extracted, what not to extract. I am here only putting it into Excel. You guys can write in automation to put this data into any other application, database, SAP, Salesforce, anywhere, right? So the automation is completed in 1 minute 19 seconds. Let's go back to the folder. I'll hit a quick refresh. I have got 5 files, right? Let's try to take any random one. I'll just take, let's say, this one, 36600, right? And what we have done is we have created the output with the same name. So I'll go to the output folder, open this 36600, right? And since it was the form extractor, all of that have the same structure, right? So invoice number is this, it's to Alan. Yes, it's to Alan. The date is 15th of November, I guess 15th of November, and the address is this 625 something something United States. Great. And I hope you guys are also able to complete this automation in a step-by-step manner for me, right? The assignment for you is please validate all of your files, right? And let me know in the comments that whether you were able to successfully validate all the files and the output was coming or not, right? I'll wait for your comments and let's go back to the presentation now. Okay, so today we have seen that we have something which is called a form extractor. It is used in the documents where there is a little or no variations, and we always need the document understanding API key in case we want to use the form extractors, right? Now this is some additional information which I wanted to give you guys, that the form extractors allow us to define multiple templates. So as of now, I was only doing it for invoices. You can also use the form extractor for, let's say, receipts, for the password in the same taxonomy manager as well. Okay. And these are some of the additional information which I want you guys to just pause this video and read for once, right? Now there is one important thing which you should remember is the second last point. It also supports the fine tuning of the checkbox boolean fields by allowing the configuration of yes, yes, no, tick box, cross, right? All of those value can be also read by the form extractors, right? These extractor does not have a learning or training capabilities. Please remember, form extractor cannot be trained. These extractor does not have the learning or the training capabilities. Okay, and I hope you guys understand what is training. So these are the properties for the form extractor. The first one is the API key which you get from the cloud platform. In case you don't know where is the cloud platform key, I have again posted the video in the description, right? Endpoint, in case you are using the cloud, it would be by default populated, but in case it is not populated, please put this URL https://du.uipath.com/svc/form extractor, right? At any point of time, let's say you are watching this video after a couple of years and this URL might not work, please refer to the latest UiPath documentation and you should get this endpoint, right? Then there is this setting which is called the minimum overlap percentage. Okay, by default it has a value of 65 which we have not changed, but what exactly that means? It simply means specifies the minimum overlap area in percentage between a box in a document and the box in the template. How much is the minimum overlap percentage between the box which you have created and the actual template which you have provided at the beginning? The percentage value can be set between 0 and 100. The default value is 65. At any point of time, if you want to change this value, you can just come here and update this. Now there is something which is called timeout, which means that how much time it should wait. This timeout is in milliseconds. By default the value is set to 100 seconds. That means that within 100 seconds, if it is able to get a response, well and good. If not, then you are going to get an error from the server, right? In a real-time automation, all these value would be set in a config file or would come from a place where you can actually manipulate. This won't be hard coded, right? So please remember these properties. Okay, so that is it I wanted to cover in this video. I hope you guys were able to follow along and you were able to build the automation with me, right? I have uploaded all the files in the website so you guys can download and practice along with me, right? So with that, I would like to wrap this video here. Any more questions, any more doubts, feel free to write me in the comments, or you can also drop me an email as well. I'll appreciate your feedback on these kind of videos, that how are you liking this pattern where I'm sharing you the files and you are practicing along, right? And in case that is something which you are enjoying, just let me know in the comments. And in case you're enjoying the content, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video of document understanding. Thank you for watching and happy automation.